Andy Stevenson for SevereMMA, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ryan Shelley. I've noticed this, neither you or your brother have nicknames.
I know that, yeah.
I was I got Leon's one wrong. I was like, Leon the Hitman, not the professional.
Yeah.
But I'm joined by Ryan Shelley. We haven't spoken in a while. Great to see you back. You've taken on Jordy Bakkes this coming Saturday, the 14th of October, Cage Warriors 161 in the RDS in Dublin. Congratulations on coming over to the South Side. Firstly, it's nice to see an event in the beautiful part of Dublin.
Exactly. So it's good to be back. So initially, wasn't it scheduled for November? It was the Tree Arena show, and then somewhere over the summer they changed it, and I was like, okay, it's in October now. So first of all, I was glad with that because it made sense. Maybe we'll see how November goes. I might get another one in. And then it was like the RDS, and I thought, geez, that's a cool arena to have it in and stuff like that. And as far as I know, it's the first MMA event that's ever been held there.
I can't think of another one. It's going to be. I've no idea what to expect, to be honest. I just remember doing my college exams there, and
that's right.
Having absolute misery because I was failing them.
Yeah, I remember. Wasn't the higher options there for the leaving cert too? Yeah, I rember being there for that.
Someone's after coming through that room. And the young scientist.
That's right. I was never at that.
Funderland.
Yeah. So it's something good, and as always, the 3KF lads are out, and we're going to have a big gang there, so I'm looking forward to it.
Look, I'm sure it's going to be another great night. It was a brilliant night, and from an atmosphere perspective in the Tree Arena, it was a tough night for yourself. It didn't go your way. Obviously, suffering the loss to third round TKO to Tobias Harila. Thought you looked brilliant in the first two rounds, and seemed to be going your way. For you, how do you reflect on that loss?
Yeah, obviously it was my first professional loss, so I had to sort of go back to the drawing board a bit on a few things, and like you say, as far as the fight was going, it was going fantastic. I was 2 rounds up. I think we all agree with that. 2 rounds ahead, and it was with a minute to go in the third round. A minute through the third round, and he just nailed me with a lovely shot. He caught me right on the nose. That was unofficially, I never told anybody about it. I broke the nose 3 weeks before the fight, so I got smacked on it again, and I went down. The ref jumped in, and I actually suffered another broken nose, and I broke my cheekbone as well after that fight. So there was a good few weeks where I couldn't do anything, but I looking back on the fight, I was just like, there's holes in my game that I need to fix, and as soon as I went back to training, I just got to work on those.
Yeah. So look, I mean, it's kind of. It's better now, so we can kind of discuss that now that it's kind of out in the open. But obviously, I met you here prior. I was interviewing the lads, and
that's right.
I was aware that you had a broken nose. But when you're dealing with that, and you're stepping into a cage to fight another man in a few days,
and him too,
and he's the Cage Warriors, Justin Gaethje.
Exactly.
Tobias Harila he's a terrifying fighter. And even in the fighting yourself, you're 2 rounds up, but he's still kind of marching you down in the third. He never takes a backward step. What's your thought process like when you're dealing with that going into a fight? Yeah,
there was a week there before the fight where I was half thinking, should I pull out? Should I keep going? And there was a few days where I just didn't really know what to do. And basically, the nose was all wonky, and I got it straightened out. They straightened it out for me, and the doctor was saying I don't recommend you do it. But I just thought that, it was one of these things that I could overcome, and I've never pulled out of a fight before, and I felt healthy, I felt good to go, and also there was that bit of pressure of, the Tree Arena show was such a big deal, and I just thought, I'm not pulling out of this, and looking back, it's like, I have no regrets, you know what I mean? If I had to do it again, I'd do it the same way. It's not something like, I should have pulled out that fight. No, I wouldn't change one thing. So, I can sleep comfortable at night knowing that. And I thought, I took the mistakes from that fight, and now you're going to see this in the next fight that I'm after closing out gaps.
Yeah, because that was going to be my next question was, do you regret it? You're talking a bit about how, I can overcome this. Is it almost like, were you trying to prove something to yourself from a toughness perspective or anything like that, or no?
Not really, no. I just thought that, there's always going to be adversity in your career, you know what I mean? Whether it's injuries, pullouts, weight issues, whatever, and you just need to be ready to deal with those things. And I feel like that's something I'm really good at. Whatever comes my way, I'm able to deal with it. And the result didn't go my way that night, but what I'm after learning from it and having come through the whole thing, I feel like I'm going to be 2 times better the fighter that I was,
Yeah, there was, obviously he cracked you with a lovely right hand in the third. There was a moment, and I don't know, you can tell me if I'm wrong or right, at the end of the second, he kind of had your back and he landed a big shot
Yeah.
at the end. Did you feel that? Like,
That was actually the shot that concussed me.
Okay.
Yeah. And when like from that moment onwards, I know
you looked a little bit.
It
out
went
with
really under the radar because it wasn't like a huge shot, and I sort of turned away from it at the last second. But yeah, that was the one that actually broke my nose, and I was a bit all over the shot then after that, and parts of the fight get a bit fuzzy. Actually, I remember being out the back then and things like that. But
So do you remember the third round at all?
I remember moving around, and then I just remember sort of like being walked out of the cage. You know what I mean? But that's the fight game, you know. It's
Have
brutal.
you ever had to, obviously you have an extensive striking career prior to MMA, you lost a decision as an amateur but you've never been stopped before. Have you ever dealt with a loss like that in sports at all?
Not really, no. That was the first time. And again, like, so as tough as a loss it was, I was like, I also have to look at how good I was doing in that fight. So I was like, I can hang at this level, and this is where I belong. There's just a few things that I need to fix, and to get the job done next time.
So what has the last number of months been like then? It's obviously that was April. What's the last number of months been like for you?
So like for 6 weeks I had to just let me injuries heal. My nose and cheek, I couldn't do any sparring for 6 weeks. They straightened it out again. Like when I went back to the hospital, they were like, "You bollocks!" Like, you know.
Was it the same doctor?
Same doctor. Yeah, they were like,
I fucking told you.
Yeah, they were like, "You didn't listen to us," you know. And he was actually laughing. So yeah, they straightened out and they were like, "No more fights for a while." So 6 weeks, did nothing. Like I did a bit of training and stuff like that, but no sparring. And then like I wrote down like 3 of the biggest things that I wanted to work on. And then since June is when I came back. Since June, I've just been working on closing those gaps.
Yeah, obviously you taking on Jordy Bakkes. He had a tough fought. I was going to say win. I think it was a draw actually.
Yeah, it was.
Antonio Sheldon. What do you see in him as an opponent?
Yeah, he's good. Like he's dangerous. Like them all. You know, he's a good bit shorter than me. So I think I'm going to have a lot of range on him, and I expect him to come out like a bit wild, like he does in most of his fights. But as the fight goes on, I see him calming down, and then I start to take over from there.
Yeah, and then I suppose, how are you feeling? Are you coming off? Like, is there any sort of mental side when you take a loss like that? When you take the mental side of it, you have the physical side of it. Right, I now have to take 6 weeks out, no sparring, right, like that, and then you get back to the gym. Do you have to kind of be like, right, let's reset here? Like, how do you deal with it mentally?
A little bit, but like I thought it was going to be a lot harder, to be honest with you. I thought I was going to be like, my head's going to be all over the shop coming back, but as soon as I got back training, I was like, just feels normal again, you know. And never once was I like, am I more nervous about this fight than I am for any others? It's just all the same, really, you know. It's all part of the journey.
The Cage Warriors featherweight division, you always talk about being patient and how you're not really in a rush to do anything, but it's an exciting time right now. Did you watch Lou versus Riley there?
I did.
What did you think of that one?
Class, wasn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. I had a feeling, because like I've watched Lou before because he was meant to fight a few times in Cage Warriors, and then obviously I see Riley at all the shows, and I thought that it was like that fight is going to be a bit of a car crash, and it turned out to be. Yeah, it was class, wasn't it?
No, it was an unbelievable fight, but like it's an exciting time. You've got Riley, you've got Vucenic. Yeah. Obviously Hughes has gone now to lightweight.
That's right.
Harry Hardwick and James Hendon's just after picking up a win over Tobias Harila. So like, where do you see yourself? Obviously you're coming off a loss right now. You need to get back in the win column, but where do you see yourself factoring into
so
that?
like it all starts back with me now next weekend. I need a good win here, you know, and I'm not overlooking Jordy or anything like that. Like, I know how tough this is going to be, but I need a good win here, and then starting from next year, then it's just, you know, I want to be in the mix with all them lads, tearing it up with the best of them, you know. And it seems like now there seems to be good movement again now in the division, and you know, whatever happens, you might see a new champion with Paul gone and things like that, and I reckon it's gonna blow up next year in terms of the featherweight division. People might move on, people might get beaten, some people might challenge for the titles and stuff, and we'll see how it goes.
I would assume that a title fight will be made in the near future with Paul moving up to 155. Who do you think gets the call for the title?
You'd have to say, that's a tough one. You'd have to say Vucenic, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably.
Vucenic is number one, and then I don't know, like people seem to forget about Hardwick, but like, you know, he's on a tear too. Like, he's done really well.
Absolutely.
So I'd say they're probably the two top dogs at the moment.
And is there anyone not to just be like, oh, who do you want to fight, but like, are there specific matchups where you're looking for, like you're looking to test yourself against?
I haven't really thought about that too much. Like all of them eventually, I see myself like fighting most of them over like this year, next year, and the year after. You know what I mean? Depending on who moves on.
You see yourself in Cage Warriors for a while then?
As long as it needs to be.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like obviously the UFC is where I want to go, but I wouldn't move on from Cage Warriors until like either like I'm the champion or like I'm pretty much thereabouts. Right. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm not there yet, so I have more work to do.
And again, I'll probably ask all the lads this because, like, Leon said to me in the previous interview I did with him that he would like to get the Cage Warriors title first. Yeah. Because of the history that KF have with it.
Very true. Yeah.
Do you think in a similar way? Like Adam was kind of saying, well, it's not. People
it's
have
not
it's not make or break.
Yeah.
But like,
I would definitely like to. Yeah. Like if it was a case where something huge came up on a short notice thing, and like the only thing I would skip the Cage Warriors belt for is if like a UFC opportunity came up. But that would be pretty much it. Now, other than that, like my goal and my journey is set on getting the belt one day, and like I never put like time limits or targets on it. Like it'll take as long as it needs to take.
Okay, I spoke with your brother. I asked for an updated standings of the best grappler between yourself, Taka, and him.
Right,
now, I'm not going to tell you what he said yet.
What did he say?
No, I'll tell you after. But you give me, I can't remember what it was previously. I think you might have been up top previously. But
right, before, like, it was clear, like, when we first joined, it would have been, like after the first year of training, it was me, Taka, Adam.
Okay.
Because I think I started a bit the earliest, and then Adam was the last to join, so that was the order. Now it's a bit all over the shop, like,
So go on, give us your three.
One day it could be Adam, one day it could be Taka, one day it could be me. Here's what I'll do, right? I'll let the numbers speak for themselves. I have the most submissions, all right? So I'm still going with myself.
So you're one, and who's 2 and 3? And you have to answer this now.
Taka's gonna. We got me 1, Adam 2, Taka 3. Taka's
right,
gonna
I'll tell you now.
That. Right, what did Adam say?
Adam with the exact same.
Did he? Taka's gonna be like, what? Yeah.
Don't listen to Taka. I think you're number 1. And
stop.
I don't know. I'm not going to answer the 2 and 3.
Yeah. We'll see what he says now when he's in next.
Absolutely. Well, look, I'm delighted to see you back.
Thank you.
Hopefully returning to win aways on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Prediction?
Second round TKO.
Great. Yeah. All right. Well, look, tune in on Cage Warriors, 2 Cage Warriors 161 this Saturday night, live from the RDS in Dublin, live on UFC Fight Pass. Ryan Shelley's back in action, Adam Shelley's back in action, and so is Taka and Leon Hill. So tune in.